Hi, today we're gonna show you how to use the MacroProbe version 1.2 with its cyber observation features to monitor for cybersecurity of a wireless router, actual traffic. So here we go. First, the wireless router deployment that we have in mind is this configuration right here, where we have a wireless router servicing many devices in its wireless network, and it's connected to the switch of the service provider that is outside on the internet. So what we do is that we buy a network tab, which costs us about $50 to $150 depending on the quality, and we tap in the Ethernet connection between the switch and the wireless router, and that's where we tap for the traffic to monitor all the traffic flowing between the wireless router and the network switch. So that's how we do it, and so that we can see all the traffic flowing between and outside and inside the wireless router. So let's configure the MacroProbe version 1.2 to monitor for this wireless router cybersecurity. So first we configure the security monitor by first configure the blacklisting of our wireless router. So basically, we want to monitor the wireless router as a server that being accessed by a lot of illegitimate service, hacker service, and all that. So it's supposed to act as a client outside of the internet, not as a server, but we can configure it as a server and see what kind of service is being requested of a wireless router from outside the internet. So our wireless router is 72.74.57.122. So we can add that, and then we also want to monitor for remote access protocol, which is remote desktop protocol. And we also want to SSH, monitor for SSH, blacklist SSH. We also want to blacklist Telnet. Okay, so once we get that, we can look into here and we have blacklist of the server IP address of our wireless router 72.74.57.122, and blacklisting monitor of the protocol RDP, SSH, and Telnet. Okay, so we have been monitoring this configuration for the last 24 hours, and this is what we get in the cybersecurity of the blacklist monitoring for the last 24 hours. We see that under the blacklist application, we see that the wireless router are being remote accessed illegally by many bots and hackers for the last 24 hours, as you can see right here. All these cyber security blacklist violation alarm generated. And we can see how many attackers and what are the attackers, which are all the bots and hackers that are attempting to remote access through the wireless router right here. And we can see what protocol they use to gain access remotely. So we know that they use Telnet, RDP, and SSH. So the list of servers that they try to attempt to server port. These are the server port that attempt. These are all for RDP, Telnet, and SSH. So, and then on the server blacklist of the wireless router, we see that there are many attackers that are using all kind of protocol and TCP ports, trying to gain established TCP connection on a wireless router. And right now, look at this. It's generated alarm by all these different application flow to the trying to request TCP connection request to the wireless router from outside the internet. So to look at the list of attackers, which are the bots and the hackers, these are all the bots and hackers that are trying to establish TCP connection to the wireless router for the last 24 hours. And we can look at for what are the list of applications being used. These are the list of applications being used to establish TCP connection to the wireless router. And we can see the list of server port being used in a TCP connection request to the wireless router. So we want to go to the network management to see all these wireless router for the last 24 hours, to see the wireless router being requested by the remote access protocol, like RDP, for example. This is the server, this is our wireless router, and there are a lot of TCP connection requests to gain remote access to the wireless router. In the network management side, we can see the same thing for Telnet and SSH, but when we go into the server management, online service management, for the last 24 hours on that interface, we do not see any service being provided for RDP, Telnet, and SSH. So we know that all the connection attempts into the wireless router failed, and the wireless router held out and did not provide any service illegitimately to these hackers or bots. That concludes our video. Thank you very much.